everyone, it's me, Samantha, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are finally, yes, I know it has been a while, but today we are finally going to be doing part 2 of the Decades Family Tree. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link the first part up above. That way, if you didn't see it, you will be able to get caught up. But in that episode, we went over Elias, the founding father, and Alice, the beautiful mother, who had their beautiful 7 children and their spouses. So we went through their lives. Now we are going to be meeting all of their grandchildren. So this would be Gen 3. So today we are going to be going through their children. So I thought we would start off with Emma, since she was the eldest born in the Dempsey family. So like I said in the last video, Emma did get married to her husband Gianni, and together these two had 2 daughters together. They had Diana Sapp and they also had Doris together. So Doris was born first and Diana was second. So this is Doris. Doris is currently an adult. She is probably in her 40s or so, I would say. She is married to Audrey and they live together in Brindleton Bay. So Doris was the very first grandchild to be born. She was a daddy's little girl. Gianni was obsessed with her and she was a really good kid. She really didn't get into a lot of trouble. She eventually went on to meet Audrey during World War II and they just fell in love. They hit it off and they just couldn't keep their hands off of each other, and they had some ups and downs. There was a breakup in between their romance, but in the end, these 2 young ladies couldn't deny their feelings for one another, and they ended up getting married. So it's pretty exciting. She is a child-free girl. I don't think she's really ever been one to want kids. So she has never had any children, but she does have a successful seamstress business. As you can see, she has her business out of her home where she makes her own dresses, and she's remained very close with her parents throughout the years, as you can see, and she and her wife live here together. She met Audrey through Daniel Hawley, which was one of the Dempsey kids, Emma and Harry's really good friends. She was a friend of the family, and she was living with Daniel and his wife, Mary Ellen, during World War II, and at that time, that's how she met Doris, and they fell in love. Little cutie pies. Look at her making all these meals for her wife. What a little cutie. And that leads me to her sister, Diana. We find ourselves currently in Tartosa, where Doris's younger sister, Diana, lives in a absolutely gorgeous mansion. Her and her soon-to-be husband, her fiance, Joey, have just moved into this home, so they are still in the process of making it their home and, you know, decorating it and bringing it to life. Now, Diana has always been a very free spirit. She is so much like her mom, full of gumption, full of opinions, and she's been a little bit less responsible compared to her older sister Doris, who was always really well behaved. Diana has managed to get herself into some trouble along the way. In the process of Diana being an extremely curious cat, she met her now fiance, Joey Ramirez, who happens to be a mob boss who has lived quite a crazy life, but has done a lot to protect Diana, and in the process, they fell in love. They really couldn't stand each other at first, and over time, Joey started to realize that he was fighting his own natural feelings towards Diana. And in Emma fashion, Diana did go ahead and ask Joey to marry her. So these two are engaged. They are going to be getting married in Tartosa and living out their best lives here. And they did have a grandchild together. So this here is little Stefan Ramirez. He is the grandchild of Emma Dempsey and Gianni Sapp, the son of Diana and Joey. So that is our first set of grandkids. Whew, let me tell you, this family tree just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Next born was Harry, so we'll go with Harry. Now, Harry has a little bit more of a complicated family line. Now, you can see here, Stanley has 2. In order to bring him back, my game kind of got bugged out. I will delete this one. But anyways, Harry Dempsey was the second born to the Dempsey family, and he, in his very young 20s, when he returned from World War I, he had a one-night woohoo with a lady he met at a pub, and later on in life, he found out that he had a son named Stanley. So this here is Stanley Dempsey. He was, I believe, the second born grandchild in the Dempsey family line to Harry and Carrie Mead. After, like I said, a one-night woohoo. And he ended up going off to World War I as a teenager. He lied about his age on his army records, and he went to war. He was overseas, and he actually ended up being taken as a prisoner of war. So everybody in the family line thought that he had passed away, but really him and Samuel were together held as prisoners. And he later on was rescued, but found out about his own one-night woohoo, which is Penelope, his daughter, Penelope Dempsey. Now, both of their hairs are missing because I haven't had a chance to give them their makeovers yet since I switched to Maxis Match. But because Stanley knew about his daughter, he didn't feel like it was right to leave her, so he ended up staying overseas for a really long time, and then came back to America, to Strangerville, recently with his daughter, and was like, oh, surprise, by the way, I'm still alive. So we have Stanley as his son, and then this is his granddaughter, Penelope. Now, later on in life, Stanley went ahead and he married Hiromi Dempsey. And together, he and her had 3 children together. He had a stepdaughter from her previous marriage. She had a little girl named Ami, who unfortunately did pass away in the Korean War recently. And on top of Ami, we also have 2 twins. We had Betty and Benny born from Harry. So we are currently back at the Dempsey residence, the OG farmhouse. As you can see, the siding I used for the reno obviously has been deleted, so I will have to go ahead and fix that in a little bit. However, we are currently here so you can meet Harry's youngest children. This here is Betty Dempsey. She is a teen, and she's quite the spitfire, I'm not gonna lie. And she has a twin brother named Benny, who really enjoys dancing. So here is Benny. He is a kind of a casual farm guy, and they are really Sims that we haven't had too much of an opportunity to get to know super well. But after the death of their eldest sister, Ami, in the Korean War, Betty really got inspired to wanting to take over her sister's dream of owning a bakery, a restaurant, and she ended up opening a restaurant in the name of Amiable, which I believe was named by my really good friend, Aussie Cast Plays, here on YouTube. And so she is in the process of opening up her business. She is about to graduate from high school and will be becoming a young adult soon. And her and her brother will be one of the main Sims that we focus on in the next generation. So I'm really excited for all of you to get to know these two Sims. So next in line was Charles Dempsey. So in the last episode, I just uploaded with Bailey and Jace. That is Charles, the third Dempsey kid's son and daughter. Him and his wife had a really hard time conceiving. They were not able to have children of their own, so they decided to go the route of adoption, and they ended up adopting Bailey first, and then they adopted Jace. So Bailey was the first to be adopted. She was so excited to finally have a home and a family, and Aaron and Charles absolutely adored her. They loved teaching her. They really valued education, and they spent so much time with her. And she had a really good childhood up until her father passed away in World War II. Him and her were very close. And Jace, we really haven't had much of a chance to get to know yet, but Jace is planning on becoming a musician. He really loves the guitar. Unfortunately, he was adopted as a toddler, and his father passed away pretty soon after, so Jace really didn't get the opportunity to get to know his dad really well. But he's relatively close with his mom. So he definitely is a lot different from his sister. Bailey is a professor. She's very studious. She's a proper woman. She's not very flirty. She's kind of wants to be a single woman and a loner. She likes to focus more on trying to better the world, which she definitely got from her father. Whereas Jace is like, I want to be in rock and roll. I want to be famous. I want everyone to hear my music. And he is one of the many grandkids that we are going to be following along with in the 60s. So I am really looking forward to his storyline. I know you all will enjoy that one for sure. So next up in the family tree, Nelly. Oh, Nelly is a whole nother story. Nelly is honestly one of my all-time favorite characters. I feel like Nelly had such a well-rounded storyline. I'm just very proud of her. So we are now currently in Nelly's home. Nelly Busby. Nelly, as we all know, was originally married to James, and together they had 2 children together. Nelly had a little girl named Evelyn Busby, who was quite the daddy's girl and really did not like her mom very well. Unfortunately, her and her daughter never really got along very, very well. Evelyn moved out at a pretty young age and tried to pursue her father's lifestyle as a criminal, and got pretty close with her grandfather, and really never forgave her mother for her father's death in World War II. But later on, Nelly also had Jamie with James. Now, Jamie is so cute. Look how handsome he is. Jamie could not be further from the opposite of his sister. He has always been a really well-behaved kid. He has always really gotten along with his stepfather, Gage, and really is basically mimicking his stepfather's lifestyle and footprints. He has just graduated high school, and he is actually going to be joining the police academy soon to pursue a job as a police officer, whereas his father was a criminal. So he is also another one that we will be following in the 60s, and I'm really looking forward to it because I know it's been a long time coming. So those are the 2 children of Nelly. Then I think it was Edward or Theo. I can never remember which one came first. Alrighty, so we are in Edward's household, and like we always do, we usually do Edward and Theo at the same time. So here's Edward. He is so cute. I can never get over this man. I really love him. So, quick recap. Edward was an actor with his brother Theo, which is right beside us here. He ended up falling in love with Elizabeth, who is so sweet. She was made by my good friend LadySweetTartSims here on YouTube. If you don't know her, you should know her. Go check her out. I will link her channel and Cassie's in the description below. And together, him and his wife ended up moving to her family farm, and they are slowly trying to renovate it and make it their new family home. So it is slowly coming together. Edward and Elizabeth have had 3 children so far. They've had Humphrey, who was their firstborn son. They then went on to have Edith, which is their firstborn daughter. And then they just recently had little Ellie Dempsey, which is named after Elias Dempsey. And she is a spitting image of her grandfather. So this is Humphrey. He is so cute also. He looks so much like his mom and his dad mixed together. Humphrey, like I said, he was the firstborn son to Edward, and he is a very curious cat. He has always had his head in the books and is a very curious gentleman, and we are going to be following him and his curious mind into the 60s, which I am really, really looking forward to. Next up is little Edith here. She is playing on the monkey bars. She is a little bit opposite of her brother. She is a whiz kid. She's very intelligent, but she's someone who doesn't necessarily want to pursue it. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean it's what you want to do. So I'm really excited for us to grow her character and get to know her as well. She will be definitely aging up into a teen very soon, and I'm really excited about that. And last but not least, like I said, little Ellie Dempsey, who really stinks, but she is literally her grandfather's clone. Like, she is Elias's absolute twin. From her eye color, hair color, everything. So I'm so excited about her. Edward is one of my favorite Sims. I don't think that's really a secret. So I was very keen to make sure his genes stay around for as long as possible. Now, Theo is currently living with Edward, and if you don't know why, link the last episode of Theo so you can get caught up with Theo and his family. However, he is currently living with his brother Edward, and he has 2 children. So Theo went ahead and he married Anna Dempsey, which is also the cousin of Edward's wife, Elizabeth. Like I said, these brothers do everything together. So, yes, they're related. And him and Anna ended up having Patsy before they got married. It was quite the uproar when a celebrity, up-and-coming celebrity, was pregnant before marriage. So this is little Patsy. She is a scientist. She loves everything science. She's very, very intelligent and really gorgeous. That's pretty much all I have to say about her. She's a little tense from her little brother, though. So later on in their marriage, these two ended up having Frank, which we named after Frank Sinatra. So this is little Frank. This is Theo's youngest child. He is a toddler, and he is pretty sweet. We really don't know too much about him yet. So that is Edward and Theo and their families in a nutshell. So last but not least, we are currently in the home of Elsie Dempsey. Elsie was the youngest of Elias and Alice, and she actually never got to meet her father. Her father, Elias, passed away in the war, and her mother found out she was pregnant with her after the fact. So she is the youngest of the Dempsey kids, and she is married to Samuel Gibbs. And together they have 4 children. She did have a set of twins when she was a young adult. She was probably 20, maybe 21 years old. She gave birth to 2 boys, Elijah and Max. So this is Elijah Dempsey. He is definitely a lot different from his brother. His brother Max is a little bit of a bad boy. He's in the criminal career. He's a serial romantic. He is a little bit of a rebel, got more of a dangerous, mindset, and he's so cute. He looks a lot like his grandfather as well, same eyes and everything. He's so cute. He really is. And him and his brother don't necessarily, they're not super close. As you can see, Max is hot-headed and very romantic, whereas Elijah, where are you? Aw, he's playing with the dog. He's so cute. Elijah is a loner and proper, so he's not a very social guy. He likes to follow the rules and get good grades, and his brother is not that guy. But because we're here and we've already aged up Diana's kid, I am going to go ahead and age up these 2 little girls. So Molly aged up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, she's an independent toddler. Okie dokie. Oh, look, she's got her mom's curly hair. We might end up making her a little bit darker. And we go 1, 2, 3. Oh no, she's fussy. So we have fussy and independent. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. So Cassie got her dad's blue eyes and Molly got her mom's brown eyes. But we should put, these are the brown ones that we use usually. Okay. They both got the curly hair, which is very exciting. So, and they both had black hair. We could give her like the big hair. I think that would look cute on her. She's gonna be so cute. And then I'll give her sister Cassie the longer hair. Okay, so I will finish their makeovers before the 60s start, but I just wanted to go ahead and age them up. So that is Elsie's kids. Like I said, her and Samuel went on to have 4 kids together. There is quite an age gap between the 2 because the boys were born in the 1940s before World War II started. And these girls were born near the end of the 50s. So there's a good age gap, at least 15, 17 years between the boys and the girls. So Elsie's going to be keeping herself pretty busy for the foreseeable future anyways. So I hope you all enjoyed getting to see part 2 of the Dempsey family tree and getting to know some of the grandkids and the characters that we will be following along with in the 1960s. I am really looking forward to their storyline and I think all of you will really enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching as always. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm going to say bye for now.